let me show you where this actually worked. And I have to give you the real story, not the sanitized version that you'll see in a press release. Sacramento Utility District, also known as SMUD. Their battery VPP program is touted as a success story, and it was until it wasn't. Let me give you the real timeline because this story teaches us more from what went wrong than what went right. Q1 2023, SMUD launches My Energy Optimizer Partner Plus. With Swell Energy as an aggregator, they're using AutoGrid's platform on the back end. Target 1,500 customer enrollments by 2025. They offer $250 per kilowatt hour upfront incentive, up to $2,500 per battery. That's real money. That got attention. 2023, enrollments are going well. Events are working. Dispatch success rates are high. Everyone's happy. Early 2024, Swell Energy shuts down operations. Not pause, not restructure it, shut down. Now you're SMUD. You've got 600 customer-sited systems enrolled. You've got hundreds more in interconnection queues. You've got customers expecting payments. You've got events scheduled for summer peak season. And the company running your entire back end just vanished. But here is what's fascinating. SMUD, they didn't panic. They pivoted to Tesla's VPP program, increased the incentive to $5,000 per battery, kept the program running. Why could they do that? It's because they designed for vendor neutrality from day one. They white-labeled everything under the My Energy Optimizer Partner Program. The backend vendor could change, but the customer-facing brand stayed the same. They use existing DSM authority, no new rate filings required. The backend vendor could be swapped out without going back to the commission. They built the program around capacity value, not around a specific technology vendor. The lessons: 1. Design for resilience. Your vendor may not exist in 2 years. 2. Own the customer relationship, even if you don't own the technology. 3. Use existing regulatory authority so that you can move fast when you need to. SMUD did not shut down when Swell did. They evolved, and that is the real success story. We can't verify all their claimed numbers publicly. The 90% dispatch success rate, the $200 per kilowatt year avoided capacity calls, those aren't in public filings. But SMUD's use case is for residential batteries. What about the hardest technical challenge facing grid flexibility? Let me show you Hawaiian Electric's solution to a problem most people didn't even know existed. Island grid, no interconnections, 36% renewable penetration rate, heading towards 40% by 2030. Sounds great, right? Island paradise, clean energy, sustainable goals, except there's a physics problem. Solar and wind don't help steady the grid when something goes wrong. When a cloud passes over a solar farm, generation drops instantly. When wind speed changes, outputs fluctuate wildly. On a mainland grid with hundreds of generators and massive interconnections, the grid can absorb those fluctuations. They have physical generators that provide natural stability. On an island, you have nowhere to hide. Your grid frequency starts swinging. Generators start automatically disconnecting to protect themselves. If you don't stop the cascade within seconds, not minutes, seconds, your entire island goes dark. That's the situation Hawaiian Electric faced. The more renewables they added, the more unstable the grid became. They needed batteries that could respond to frequency deviations in under 250 milliseconds. Now, most DERMS platforms pull every 1 to 5 seconds. That's fast when coordinating dispatch, but it's an eternity when you're trying to stabilize grid frequency. You can't wait for cloud-based servers to send a command. You need autonomous, local response. Here's what they built. Kapolei Energy Storage Facility, 158 Tesla Megapacks, 2 XL batteries, 50 megawatts of fast frequency response, part of a larger 135 megawatt, 540 megawatt hour system. But here's the clever part. The DERMS provide supervisory control and scheduling, but the fast response happens at the edge, at the device level, without waiting for anything. This is called grid forming inverter operation. It's the difference between a grid that asks for permission and a grid that it just acts when physics demands it. The verified outcomes: 250 millisecond response time achieved, 69% reduction in renewable curtailment, 10% more utility scale renewable integration possible. Grid frequency stability improved dramatically, avoided the need for new thermal generation. Here's why this matters, even if you don't live on an island. As mainland grids add more renewables, they're going to face similar stability challenges. ERCOT allows ADRs to provide primary frequency response autonomously. They don't require it yet, but they're planning for it. MISO has proposed grid forming capabilities in battery systems. WIC approved the first publicly available grid forming inverters in 2024. Hawaiian Electric showed us the future: autonomous edge response with supervisory control. That's where this is heading. And sometimes the best DERM strategy is knowing when not to use traditional centralized dispatch. All right, last case study. Let's talk about commercial and industrial loads, because this is where the delivery rate challenge gets interesting. Austin Electric's commercial and industrial demand response program: 177 megawatts over the past decade. New targets: 75 megawatts by 2027, 200 megawatts by 2030. They use a mix of Energy Hub DERMs plus direct facility integrations and partnerships with aggregators like C-Power. Now, here's what makes C&I different from residential batteries and why this is harder than it looks.